Buenas. Hello, folks. I did full disclosure straight away. If you've opened this in eager anticipation of a proper book review or discussion of the next stage of my engagement with Dr. Michael Mosley and his thoughts and ideas and recommendations for becoming healthier and fitter and slimmer, I've got to disabuse you. So no problem if you bail right now. I've got to be honest. This is kind of a little bit of a, pushing myself really to sort of commit to doing some stuff. And I find sometimes, committing in public is maybe a good technique for me. There's no progress report on reading. I don't know what's happened there. Well, I'll tell you what's happened. January was a difficult month for me. It was a very difficult month. It started poorly with some concerns I had about my blood pressure. There was a lot of stress with, let's say, my family situation. And then there was a really, really difficult 9 days in the middle when essentially I was out of power and I was, well, homeless to the extent of I couldn't stay in the casita. And I had a pre-booked trip anyway. So in some ways it wasn't, an absolute disaster, but there were some difficulties about knowing exactly when I could safely move back in with the power reconnected. No one's fault. It's just the way utility companies sometimes work, isn't it? Right, kind of thing. But there was there was a sort of pretty tough day and a half where really I had no power, which meant I had no heating, which meant I had no cooking. And it was, as my friend Neil joked, I kind of lived like Jane Austen. I had to go to bed when it was dark because it was literally, I had this great battery-powered torch that had been bought for me by my co-parent in the time of COVID when we were all, it's a very noisy cat, very well convinced, or she was convinced anyway, that no deal Brexit. It was a no deal Brexit one. That's right. When so it's a bit further back than that, isn't it? When she was convinced we were going to be completely, go back, go to sort of fear the walk, go to Walking Dead level insanity. And you know what? I never changed the battery, so I got it out, and it was dead. I couldn't use it. Ay ay ay. And it was difficult. Some relationships got dinged, I'm going to say. I think we're on the other side of that now, but it was a time that really made me feel very, very insecure, made me feel very unsettled, made me felt quite powerless because there was really nothing I could do. And there's some things that were going to happen anyway, but have been accelerated. And in terms of me kind of moving on from here and getting a bit more of a structured, living situation. And we're all going to part, friends, and it's okay, but it was tough. It was a tough time, and I did take my interesting looking South American book on holiday on my trip with me. Went to the lovely city of Granada, which I really really like, and I'm very interested in whether or not that could be my next destination. Then I went down to the amazing south coast, Almunica, La Herradura, some of my lovely friends there. That was all really nice as well. And so I lost a lot of time with my work, a lot of time, very behind. Some projects became very difficult. I kind of more or less kept the ball in the air, but it was tough. I had to kind of donate some of the work, which means I've lost money. And, yes, it was tough. It was a tough time. And in the middle of that, I'm taking my blood pressure, which skyrocketed on one particular Sunday night because I interpreted a message as essentially meaning I was going to be homeless. And it was just very, very difficult. I don't think everyone handled it as well as they could, including me. But okay, we're on the other side of that. Projects more or less kind of caught up with. Work, I'm going to have to be a work afternoon. And it has been a lot of it, very intense. Often my ends of months are very intense anyway. I do tend to sort of find things sort of bunching up then. Maybe I could do better work on spreading it out, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So yeah, a tough time. And I didn't. I forgot dry January because just I did. I could do dry February, though I do have a trip in the middle of it, which so whatever. I do really want to go back to losing. Now I have been tracking my weight. I couldn't do it for 1 week in the middle of all this nonsense. I am continuing to lose weight, and I think that's down to upping the exercise. What do I call it? Activity. I'm walking. I'm sort of I've set myself a target of 6,000 steps a day, and a couple of the kind of long. No, there's half an hour, there 20 minutes, whatever. Walking the kind of little circuit I've got for myself here, which involves some uphill and some downhill, which is good. And I'm seeing some amazing, cute little butterflies. I wish I knew. I've seen some great white ones and some little gold ones, and I'd love to know what they're called. They're very. I've tried to picture them, just wouldn't go. But yes, so yeah, but doing that, really, really not gone back to sugar and treats and desserts at all. Um, and that's good, right? My bread intake is it's come up, but not really that much. I've got a situation here with the I was going to say the cooker, the fridge, which is during the power cut. Basically, I lost all of my frozens, as you would expect, right? It was just out for too long. And even though it was cold here, when I came back, it was just an absolute mess in there. And I've been trying to run down the fridge. And this weekend, I'm going to absolutely do the defrosting, clean it out, go for a big shop in the middle of the week, restock, and get back on track on there. So a little bit of improvisation on meals, but that's fine. That's fun. So yeah, so starting February, I don't know. I suppose what I want to talk about in a way is I think what this has also taught me is I think that my presentation of Irving Goffman, the presentation of self in everyday life, my presentation of myself isn't great sometimes. And I this is not this is there's one of those little butterflies just come. I think I've got a bit of I don't know whether it was always there, but I think I think I've got some PTSD. Very very self-aggrandizing. I know that to say, but from the horrible, horrible events of 2006, which the divorce and you know being exiled, kicked out the house, and all those, and being losing my family and a very young baby, and yes, I sort of got that back, but it was a very hard path for a long time. I think it just kind of changed me really, and yeah, I think people. I think when I'm in crisis, I do reach out to people, and maybe I shouldn't do it as much as I do. It's fantastic to have great friends who you can ask for help, and I don't not looking for financial help. I'm not looking for practical help necessarily. But sometimes when these sort of things happen to me, I guess I'm looking for a little bit of, I suppose, sympathy. I suppose understanding. But I think some people now have got a kind of picture of me really, which is I think they think I'm a lot more dysfunctional, a lot less organized, um, uh, I suppose responsible, capable. Maybe is a way to do that, and I've got some challenges in my life. I'm a little bit better off in debt after being here in the campo for 10 months. Yes, I am. I'm not totally out of debt, and there's still stuff that needs to happen. And I have a fluctuating income. I'm not indigent. Um, uh, I've been bankrupt. I know what that's like. I don't particularly want to do that ever again. But you know what? If I had to, I would. Right? Um, well, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Right? But I won't. It won't happen anyway. But then, yeah, that's given me some. Yeah, that's not great. And that's not really, is that the image I want to project of myself in the world to my friends, the people who care for me, a bit needy, slightly pathetic? You don't want to feel that, do you? Really? And I don't think I am. I think I'm, well, one of the kind of things that'll probably happen on this channel is this word autism will come in and out. And you know what? I'm going to pay the money to have a professional evaluation, not five questions on a BBC website, proper evaluation, and see what it tells me, right? And yeah, and that's not who I want to be. If I'm autistic, I'm autistic, okay? But I don't want to be someone who people feel a little bit sorry for, a little bit kind of assuming everything is, in low level crisis and a bit rubbish. I don't have such a bad life. Yes, there are things that I'd like to see doing better in there. Of course, um, health, fitness, weight, money, sure, but also, and people scoff at me when I say this, which is sometimes why I say it just to annoy them. I'm going to get another girlfriend. I am. I've absolute 100% confidence. I don't want one today, and I might not want it in 6 months because I don't think I feel, that I'm totally there. I'm fighting to get there, but I want that. I want to have lots of interesting experiences. I want to enjoy life. I don't think I can really. I don't think someone in my job can really travel. I don't think so. I mean, I think, and I don't want to retire. Right? Certainly not. Okay, I'll retire at 75. I won't retire at 67. Okay, I'm just not going to. I like work. I like the challenge of work. I like the challenge of finding work. I like sometimes the work is boring and hard, and you look boring hard, but you've also got to really concentrate on it, which is a fairly deadly combination. Right, that's what it is. And I will. Oh God, even stupid things like I'll wear better clothes. I'll live somewhere nice. I'll have a nice community somehow. If the community is expats, okay. I don't think these things are undoable, impossible. I don't think I'm pathetic. I don't think I'm helpless. I'm not saying this to sort of F you to anybody who's, expressed genuine kindness and care for me and tried to help me. But I don't, that, if that is me, that's not who I want to be for the rest of my life. I just don't know who would, right? Okay. Books and stuff now. Okay, right. So I've got to spend an hour tonight. Oh, the other thing, I'm going to watch the Six Nations. I love the Six Nations. I do. Um, and I love. There's only certain sports I like to watch, but the ones I do, I really like to watch. I really like to get into them. And every time, I'm always amused by the fact that every time I watch international rugby, the rules have changed in some way, and it's like I've given up. Right, fine. Just I'm never going to understand the science of the game because they keep moving the goalpost, don't they? But I've got to, yeah, I'll do it. But in terms of the book I put on the cover of this video, perhaps as a cheat and a lure, is so I will do I'll do the 5-2. I'm going to try Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are fairly boring days of the week, and I don't think things you necessarily do anything on, right? And I think they'll be my fasting days. I have been conscious of trying to, not start to eat until I really, really need to in the day. I'll carry on. I lost a kilo. Saturday is my weigh day. Saturday to Saturday, I'm now 97.2. Yes, that's still fat. Yes, that's way bigger than I should be. Certainly a man of my height, 173 centimeters. Though I did have a fitness test a couple of years ago where it put me at 174. I don't know. I think I'm 173. And so I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to do a video for a week. And when I do a video again on Saturday, which I will do, I will have read the Yosa. I will have pursued my diet. I will continue to walk my steps, and I will think about how I'm not going to change people. Maybe people's perceptions of you are baked in and they can't change. But then And then you can't get resentful at their perception of you, because that must be how you are presenting yourself, correct? But maybe I can think about that and try and be conscious of how I present myself, and I think that'd be good. Okay. So, also, Severance, television made to be savoured. I mean, I loved it from the start, but I mean, it's meant to be paused. It's meant to be the blues in the severed world, on the severed floor, the whites, the composition of the frames, the music, the acting, the weirdness, the oddness. There's definitely some Lynch in there, but that's fine. That's great, isn't it? But there's more than that. It's funny, it's weird, it's odd, it's moving, and people who say, well, this is nonsense, because people, they wouldn't have this operation. People would take this operation. Yes, of course they would. If it meant separating from the pain of your life, and it meant separating, as in Dylan's case, to keep a job, you would. Of course you would. But that isn't what the show's about, is it? It's about corporations and capitalism and hyper-capitalism and alienation and technology and all of those things, which are, God Almighty, is that not relevant to literally every day that we have at the moment? Um, so that's me. Okay, guys. Hope that was interesting. I guess I did the video for myself, if no one else, to kind of prompt me to get back on the reading trail. I'm glad January's over. Let's all make February as positive as we can, and hope to see you soon. Okay, cheers. Bye bye.